Here's something I never thought I'd say, but around this time last year, I adopted a reactive, needy, stubborn little sausage dog with full-blown separation anxiety. His name? Luigi. Now, originally, this was meant to be a foster to adopt situation, part of a plan to show that effective dog training doesn't just apply to high-drive shepherds or Malinois. I wanted to prove that even the so-called companion breeds could benefit massively from structured training. And I suppose we did prove that, but not in a way I expected, because this situation, this was a catastrophic mission failure. Not because Luigi didn't improve, he did, but because I fell in love with the little shit and now he's part of the furniture. Literally, he's taken over the sofa. And if you don't have a dachshund, you probably won't understand. But spend enough time with one and they're actually all right. Oh, f*** it, they're more than all right. They're f***ing amazing. Did I ever think I'd say that? No, and just like I never thought I'd see Elon Musk cage fighting Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, here we are. Is that happening? I think that might be happening. I don't know. I hope it's happening. But just because Luigi was staying didn't mean he got a free pass. Rescue or not, his behavior had to change, especially if he was going to live life with my other dogs and actually enjoy life, not just survive it. And I'm happy to say we got there. So how did we do it? Well, in today's video, I'm going to walk you through 4 needle-moving exercises and concepts that I genuinely believe made the biggest difference in Luigi's transformation. From a barking, shadow-following, anxiety machine to a much calmer, more balanced little lad. Let me show you exactly what we did, how we did it, and most importantly, why it worked.
Hey guys, just a very quick one from Ranger and I. Just need 30 seconds of your time. Firstly, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has watched our videos over the last 6 months. The channel has grown exponentially to the point that YouTube are actually now paying us. So every time you watch one of our videos, YouTube pays us money, which is great. But we don't want that money. We don't want that money. We didn't sign up for the money. We signed up to make great dog training content. So what we're going to do is we're going to give every single penny of that money away to charity each and every month. And we'll post on a wall which charity the money goes to on any particular month. So if you do have any recommendations for great charities that are doing great work with dogs, of course, then let us know in the comments and we will make sure that the money that YouTube is giving us is going to the right places. And the second thing I wanted to say is still 75% of you that regularly watch this channel have still not yet subscribed. So do me a favor so we can make more money for dogs that need it and also allow this channel to grow with more exposure so we can have better guests on, we can make you better videos. If you do me the favor of subscribing to this channel, I will promise you I will work tirelessly and Ranger will work tirelessly to bring you the best dog training content possible for free. Thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts and enjoy the rest of the video.
So this will be a very different tutorial to probably what you're used to seeing with me. And this is Luigi, my little sausage dog. And although he is smaller, he is a lot less intrusive than my big dogs. We have to remember he still has the same needs, right? Just because he is 4 kilos and he's not 40 kilos like Lenny and Kobe doesn't mean he hasn't got that strong opportunistic predator instincts inside him. And so it's super important I don't neglect and respect Luigi for what he really is, which is a little hunting dog. Oh, clever boy. Because if we don't start satiating these needs and allowing Luigi or our sausage dogs to align genetically with their lifestyle, then we're going to inevitably create problems, because if we don't give them outlets to their ancestry hunting instincts, that's just going to pent up and then it's going to be a recipe for reactivity. And so I make sure every single day that I'm playing a little game of tug with Luigi. It doesn't have to have a lot of structure. The dog just has to have some fun. Whoa! And I want to reward his legitimate efforts for trying. You know, we got to be conscious of their backs. So I'm not going to do lots of ups and downs. I'm going to do lots of side to sides. Whoa, clever boy, clever boy. And again, I don't need all that many rules. We'll see if we can get him to drop. 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 Yes. Whoa, clever boy. Clever boy. Ooh. Whoa. Ooh. And I'll be honest, I don't typically play with dogs inside the house. But little Luigi doesn't really like playing outside, and so I'll break my rules in this instance. Whoa, good boy. Whoa. And another really important thing for a dog, like Luigi or like our sausage dogs, when we finish at that game, we need to close that window and we need to start the game and finish the game. Otherwise, we're going to create a really demanding little dog. And so we call that windows of opportunity. I've talked about it before, but when I start the game, I say ready, and when I finish the game, I say all done, so I can then make sure I instigate games, because if I let Luigi instigate the game whenever he wants, when it comes to a time that is not logical or feasible for me to play with him, and he's used to demanding that game whenever he wants, and I say no, he's going to get super frustrated, and that's when we're going to see kind of frustration-based barking. That's when we're going to see kind of the dog, good lad, ooh, demanding our attention because of they're used to. So a lot of people I see with sausage dogs, they might work from home. When they get a sausage dog, they might book a couple of weeks off work and they just dote on the dog. They just consistently succumb to the dog's or the puppy's demands from puppyhood. And then they get a few weeks down the line and then suddenly the dog starts demanding and squeaking at the owner to say, hey, come on, let's do something. Let's go for a walk. Let's play. And the owner can't because they're busy, because they're working. The dog gets frustrated and accelerates their behavior. And then they start demand barking, they might start nipping and so on and so forth. So really important when we're having fun with our sausage dog, or any dog, that we open and close those windows of opportunity. Drop. Up, up, drop. Good. All done. And then the toy goes away, I give the all done. All done. And then when I've said all done, that means the game's over, play is no longer on the cards. I need to proactively meet his needs. So if I want to then start a game again later, I'll bring the toy out and I'd say ready, and we'd play, and then we finish that game with all done. He looks fulfilled, pretty happy, chilled in the sun there, sunbathing. And so we'll move on to our next activity, which is arguably just as important, if not more important than what we've just talked about. This next activity is super important if you want to start addressing your sausage dog's reactivity. Again, any dog really. When you get a dog and you bring them home, you bring them into your house, especially a sausage dog with a really high social drive that's going to want to follow you everywhere. But what you don't realize is they're reacting to everything of value, but just not in a way that bothers you. So let me explain. You get up, you go and open the fridge. They get up, they go and check out what's happening. You go and open the back door. They shoot and follow and check and fly out the back door. You open a packet of crisps. They jump off their bed and they come and check out, like, if you've got any food for them. You hop on the sofa, they fly on you, they follow you to the toilet. And any little stimuli, any little thing of value in their life, you just allow them to react to it. And so they never have any sort of ability to yield to their impulses. And so we create a really, really impulsive dog without really realizing it, because we don't put any sort of boundaries in the house. And this isn't about running a dictatorship. It's about being consistent with our dog, because then when we go outside and we put them on leash and we expose them to things of really high value, like other dogs and maybe strangers or cars and bikes and squirrels and all the rest of it, we then restrain them when we don't allow them to go and interact with that thing of value. And that's going to induce a hell of a lot of frustration. And it's the equivalent of having a child, and inside the house, the child says, Mum, I want my iPad. Sure. Mum, I want to go outside. Sure, you can go outside. Mum, I want to go play Xbox. Sure. Mum, I want to go out with my friends. Sure. Mum, I want sweeties. Sure. Mum, I want ice cream. Sure. Mum, I want to go upstairs. Sure. And we say yes to everything. We permit just absolutely everything. But then we take the same kid to the supermarket, and the kid goes, Mum, I want this video game. And you don't have the money for it, right? And you can't say yes. And you say, no, you can't have that video game. And the kid goes, Mum, I want the video game. And the kid's so used to being told yes for everything, and you can do whatever you want. When the script flips and we go to supermarket and there's something of really high value there and we say no to it, it's going to create a lot of frustration, and what might ensue then is a big old-fashioned tantrum. And so to combat this, what we need to start doing is one of the most underutilized exercises known to dog training, and that's what we call tethering. So what I'm going to do is just once, twice a day with Luigi, start just tying him to something immovable. I'm just going to put this on his collar. I'm going to put this on my kitchen table or whatever. I'm going to put a blankie down for him so he can relax. But I'm going to start just teaching him and instilling to Luigi that just because if you see things of value and there's something you want to interact with, you can't always do that. And that'll create a good precedent for when we go on walks and he wants to get to something and can't, well, he's used to that feeling of not being able to just get what he wants at all times, right? And it's just gonna allow the dog to deal better with the confinement we're going to impose on him when we eventually go outside and start socializing him and exposing him to the world. Now, the tutorial is not going to take much in terms of showing you, but I'm going to do it. We're going to see how Luigi tolerates with being confined, being restricted, and it might seem mean, but it's not, because that's what we do outside. And if I let him roam the house with 0 restrictions and boundaries, all that's going to do is make it much harder for him to tolerate the restrictions and boundaries that I inevitably have to put on him as a means of a safety precaution, e.g. having him on lead. Okay, let me show you. So I will take his blankie. Come on, little man. And he's already good on the lead. He's a good boy. And what I'll do is I will just pop that there. Oh, you're such a good boy. And that's pretty much it. Now, Luigi's done plenty of this, and what he will do now is just curl up in a ball and go to sleep, right? And so I should be able to go around everyday life, open the fridge, and him not go like, oh, fridge is open, I might get some cheese, or open the back door and let one of my other dogs out, or so on and so forth. Actually go to the toilet without him following me. He will just start learning when the leash is on me, I can't go and just shoot and fly to everything I want. This isn't an all day, everyday thing. This is just a couple of times a day to acclimatize our sausage dog, again, or any dog, with the concept of confinement, which we inevitably have to do. And so, again, we just do this as a matter of precaution, a couple of times a day. You start doing this with your dog at home, they're going to have a big tantrum to begin with. They're going to have a big wobbler, they're going to kick off, they're going to bark at you, they're going to scream at you and say, how dare you? And we're just going to say, tough, sorry mate. They're not anxious, they're just like having a bit of a wobbler about not being able to get immediately what they want. As you can see, little Luigi here, God bless him, such a good boy, has just settled down immediately. And that's great. That makes his life easier, my life easier for when we go on to start exposing him to the world. And I'm about to show you how to properly do that and avoid some critical mistakes. It's just gonna create for smooth sailing, right? Because we're not, do whatever you want in the house, but do as I say outside of the house. That will never ever work. You'll get a really frustrated dog outside of the house. Okay, so we must remember that Luigi here, just like my Malinois, they have exercise needs probably beyond what most people anticipate anyway. And so there's nothing more I can say for this next section other than get your steps in. Put the phone down, get up earlier, and just get your steps in with your dog. You haven't got a teddy bear, you've got a dog. And so we mustn't forget that a stroll to the cafe to sit and bark at everyone that comes in the cafe is not exercising your dog. And so what I like to do separately from actual training in the traditional sense, in terms of socialization, maybe obedience, maybe, you know, giving and teaching the dog new skills, teaching him how to behave, I segregate that with exercise. And especially when I'm looking at rehabilitating a dog, the first question I'm going to ask is he sleeping enough? Or the stuff we talked about inside with RE, the tethering, will help that, because he's not going to be buzzing around the house all day, and he's going to start actually resting, just like a toddler. You know, toddler, even when they're really tired, they're going to fight that tired by trying to be more active. It's exactly the same with our dogs, especially our sausage dogs. They're basically a toddler, right? And then the second box I want to ensure that is ticked is, are we getting enough steps in? Are we getting enough exercise? Are we doing enough with the dog? And that's going to mean setting my watch to 30 minutes and just walking. If your dog hasn't got great recall, you can use a flexi lead, you can use a long line. I know people will call me an idiot for using a flexi lead, but the only idiot that shouldn't be using a flexi lead is someone that can't literally just press a button and stop the dog tripping someone up or whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. And so before we go into town to show you guys how we're going to socialize our reactive dog, we must make sure we've met our dog's needs. How do we do that? Well, we just walk. Come with me. Good man. Good boy. Yes. Good lad.
Yeah. Yes. Why are you such a good boy? Yes. Yes. He's so cute. I love him so much. Coming in? Come on. High stakes. Oh shit, shit, shit. Oh, fucking gone. I'm immediately filled with regret. Yes. Good boy. Yeah, good lad. Hey, good boy. Yeah, lad. Come on, Luge. Oh, he's on a rock. Good boy. Yes. Good man. Come on then, Luge. Good boy. Whoa, clever. Yes. And guys, if you don't have a strengthened, well-conditioned marker that you've seen throughout this video, that is genuinely the backbone of all good training. Yes. And if you're not able to precisely tell your dog exactly what you just did there was really good and you're going to get paid for it, you're not going to get very far. So please do your dog a favor, download a behavior Bible. Even if you just look at the marker conditioning modules, I promise you it will forever change your relationship with your dog, how they behave out and about, how valuable they find you, and how they perceive the world. All right, you've seen the efficacy of it throughout this video, demonstrated with just how much of a good boy Luigi has been. Yes. What a good boy. You're a little legend. All right, download it, use it. You'll thank me later. Come on, Luge. Wee, wee. Good man. Okay, so another concept I want to really quickly talk about is segregating exercise and socialization. If you've got a sausage dog, whether they're reactive and you've had them since a puppy, or you've got a rescue sausage dog, yes. Good lad, yes. You don't want to try and do your socialization or re-socialization and exercise at the same time. You want to segregate those two things. You want to go and exercise your dog and let them have a really good blowout, which is what you've just saw. And then separately, you want to take your dog out and just think about it as hanging out, right? I'm not going to ask him to sit. I'm not going to ask him to lie down. I'm not going to ask for any obedience. What I like to do if I get a new dog is exercise them, make sure their kind of buckets are empty, make sure they're super fulfilled. Then I'm going to go somewhere. I might pop him in the car, take him out, and I'm just going to hang around somewhere and let him watch the world go by for a little bit. I don't want him to try and think about doing complex things as well as like taking the world in. And so his needs have been met today. We've done our work proactively, been on a nice long walk. He's also had a play session. And so he's like emptied those buckets. We haven't got a pressure cooker dog. And now I'm just going to spend 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour, just sitting and yes, letting the world, or letting Luigi watch the world go by. I want to start thinking about Luigi like a puppy, just showing him new and novel things. And every time he makes a good choice, or every time he feels a little bit drawn to something, whether that be a person or a dog, I want to show him that when he feels drawn externally by something else, good things happen from me. I'm making it super simple here. What you'll start noticing is as something comes by that might feel like a little bit of a distraction to him or valuable to him, yes, I'll start marking with my yes, and I'm going to pay him. So if he sees that lady over there and he goes, oh, that lady looks like a lot of fun, yes, I'm gonna mark and reward. That's what we call my terminal marker or my reward marker. If you click the link in the description and download the Behavior Bible, it will show you exactly the step-by-step process you need to take with your dog, whether it's a sausage dog or anything else, to charge and condition a very powerful marker that is gonna speed up the socialization process exponentially so. Yes, and I'm not going to try and like traipse him through town and work on this all at the same time to begin with. I just want to stop, sit down, yes,
and start rewarding Luigi for all these really good choices. And so he's deciding there to sit down, be a super calm, good boy. And then all I got to do, yes, is give him feedback on that. So you're not going to see me give him much instruction. You're not going to see me say, sit, stop it, do this, do that, do that. If he did like kick off and lose his shit, I'm going to tell him off adequately. Yes. But I'm not going to require to do that much if I have genuinely gone and made an effort to fulfill his needs. So, you know, I've done my tethering, so he knows that this boundary is important. I've given him a good run out, so he's not super pent up, and then I bring him out on leash where he's just like wanting to pull to the end of it. He's almost like, all right, yeah, we're going for a walk. Seems pretty boring. That's fine. I don't want the walk on the leash to be the best part of the dog's day, because that's where there's going to be a lot of adrenaline associated there. See a lot of people with their sausage dogs, take them out, super boring lifestyle other than being able to go out twice a day, pull on the leash and kick off at everything and everyone. So we've got to flip the script. We teach our dog where and how to have fun, and then when they're on the leash, out and about, yes, I just want to be allowing him to take everything in, absorb everything around him. I want to make sure he's got the ability to take reward from me. The Behavior Bible will show you how to do that, and I want to start doing this once, twice a day, and again, just treating him like a puppy. And I might do this in few different spots. Luigi is my pet dog. I want to make sure he's happy. I want to make sure he's got as minimal like stress, or chronic stress anyway, in his life as possible. I want to make sure like he's safe. He doesn't know any fancy stuff like Stark does. He doesn't know how to bark on command. He doesn't know how to spin. He doesn't know how to heel. He doesn't know how to walk through my legs and all the rest of it like his big brothers do. But that's not his role to me. I could teach him all of that if I wanted to, but for me, all I want to ensure is he's happy, he's safe for himself, for me, for those around him, and this is how we get there. We meet his needs, we socialize him like a puppy at a rate that he can absorb things. I want to make sure I've got good motivation to work with and for me, making sure I'm managing his food and how I deliver food appropriately. I'm not going to get into that because I've done it a million times in videos. That's what the Behavior Bible's there for. Yes. And so very quickly, we're going to pick a new spot, do the same thing, and then we're going to call it a day with our socialization sessions, right? So couldn't be more simple, but what I'm not going to try and do is meet his exercise needs and socialize him at the same time. Not yet anyway. I might do that when he's, you know, a little bit further on down the line, but initially we separate those two things. We take the dog, we put him in a good mindset and good frame of mind by meeting his needs. Then we show him pictures that he might struggle in, and then mark and reward good choices, and I might mark and reward bad choices too with a leash feedback. I've not had to do that today because he's being such a good boy. The reason that probably is because of the best part of his day is been and gone, and now he just sees this as like quite literally a stroll in the park. You're a good boy. You couldn't be a better boy, really. Right, let's go pick somewhere else. Come on, Luge. No, 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 no. Don't pick things off the floor. There was a telling off there. If you blink, you would have missed it. There's our sausage dog again. Look, there he is. So we're going to take another pit stop and very simply allow Luigi to take everything in and just keep consistently giving him reinforcement when he makes good choices, right? What I'm not gonna do is take the food out and start doing all this nonsense like, hey Luigi, be a good boy, lie down. That's not gonna work, because then he'll start figuring out, oh, if I'm naughty, dad will get food out in order to get me to be good. So the naughtier I am, the more I get good things, all right? So if he were to do something naughty now, I'd give him feedback with a leash, like you saw there, trying to pick things up off the floor. I would then count to 5 just to be safe. Once I've got some good behavior, yes, I can then mark and reward in a way which he knows. I've got to pre-program that, so I've done loads of videos on that. Me doing loads of this will make just everyday life easier. And so then when we do walk him down the street, as you saw then, and he sees all these things like moving about and all these things of value, he's like, oh, I'm pretty much like immune to this. I'm desensitized to all this. I've seen it all before. And when I do see this and I see a bike, yes, I know there's a good likelihood if I ignore it, Dad's going to give me something good. And you do that enough, very quickly you'll develop a dog that ignores the world, especially things of value. But like I mentioned earlier, what we do with our sausage dogs, very little boundaries, poor value towards us. We don't meet their needs because if we treat them as like a teddy bear instead of like an actual dog. His brain is the same as my Malinois's brain, right? And they need their needs met. Opportunistic, hunter, scavenger, predator. And so I need to genetically align his lifestyle with his genetic makeup to make sure that he's relaxed and he's able to tolerate being a pet dog and ignoring things around him easier. Yes. Man in the high vis equals fun with dad. Bike equals fun with dad. Other dog equals fun with dad. And very quickly, our dog is going to anticipate, ooh, there's something of value there. That must mean I'm about to have fun with dad. And the result is, well, you've seen it today. I don't mind Luigi sitting on my lap. And now when I copy and paste this picture and I want to go to a cafe or whatever, then what's Luigi going to do? Oh, waitress, I'll ignore them. Other dog coming in, I'll ignore them. I'll just sit nice, calmly attentive next to dad and good things happen. But I don't want to bribe my dog to get there because that will have the opposite effect of probably what you want. All right, so that wraps up today's video. Of course, that is just the tip of the iceberg of how to get a perfect sausage dog. The rest of the iceberg is in the link in the description. If you click download our behavior Bible, it will show you step by step exactly how to take your anxious, crazy, reactive sausage dog into a model citizen like young Luigi here. Now listen, if you've made it this far, chances are you've got a sausage dog who's currently ruining your life. And if you want help sorting that out properly from start to finish without any nonsense, and with the occasional cameo from my little Princess Martha, my other sausage dog, don't ask, then click this video right here. It's a full step-by-step training guide to get your dachshund behaving better and most importantly, feeling better. Check it out here.